In this video, I want to talk about what I believe to be are the best 3 kicks for self-defense in the streets. Stick around. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for joining and welcome to another episode of Self-Defense Sunday. For the most part, I try to dedicate Sundays to the subject of self-defense. My goal is to put out practical information that's good for anyone, not just devoted martial arts students, not just fighters, but average, everyday people, because we do represent the majority. So let's talk about kicks first and foremost. You know, there are a lot of people that don't believe in using any kind of kicks in the streets. And I do understand that sentiment because kicks can be risky. One of the oldest tricks in the book and thing that comes most natural to people is catching the kick. I'll never forget being a kid fighting out on the playground with other kids, and we'd be throwing kicks, and 9 times out of 10 the person catches the kick. Next thing you know, they're running you towards the ground because you're losing your balance. What I'm saying is catching a kick is so instinctive and normal that even kids understand it. The other problem that is associated with throwing kicks in the street is that once you throw that kick, especially a high kick, you are fully committed. You have to be, at least. A lot of kicks, especially high kicks, are very easy to evade. They are often some of the most telegraphed things there is. Now, there are a select few out there that are super dangerous with their feet, kicking fast, kicking high. But what about the average person? What are the best kicks for them to learn? Let's get started. So let's talk about proper stance first. Obviously, when you're in a crisis situation, you're not standing here face forward. And I don't recommend being like this right here because you need the use of all of your faculties. I think the best stance there is that which is seen in boxing, Muay Thai, where you're here, where you can move, where you can crouch if you need to, you can move forward. Just like any fighting stance is slightly angled. So if I'm in a situation here and I see you coming at me, I can easily transition into this, and all of these kicks are going to be coming from a ready position. The first kick I want to cover is the front kick. Now, the front kick or push kick can be used with your dominant leg or your front leg. This is very good when somebody has a lot of reach on you. This is also very good if somebody is suddenly rushing you. Now, whether you're doing this with the front leg, which is often called a teep in Muay Thai, people sometimes even teep to the face. But let's just talk about the body for now. Whether it's with your front leg or your back leg or your strong leg, you want to point to the target with your knee. You can't bring your knee here and expect to kick good up here. If I'm going for the solar plexus, my knee matches that zone. And I'm kicking with the pads of my foot here. I'm not kicking with my whole foot. The pad or the balls of the foot. When you practice the front kick, try to do it without swinging your hands this way because you're going to want to do that. Try to keep that center this way, okay? Now, there are some kicks where the hand swings out, but we'll get into that. But outside of pointing your knee to the target, you want to include your hips because that's where the power is going to come from. Oftentimes in Muay Thai, we come back like this with our knees. Also, it's the same with our kicks, so that applies here as well. Now, you may be in the process of dodging a right hand and throwing that kick. You can still put those hips into it, just like that. All in one motion, my legs coming up, my hips are in it, bang, and I'm leaning back. Now let's talk about the second kick, which is called several things. Some call it a stomp kick, some call it an oblique kick, but it's very fast, it's very effective. I did a YouTube short on this recently. It can be done from pretty much any position, and it's not seen so easily with the eye because it comes out of nowhere, and it's really great for stopping someone who is suddenly coming towards you. You're here, and then you're here. You're not bringing your foot up and tapping. You are stepping into it. Stepping. Yeah, hey, I don't want no trouble. Step. Step right above the knee. And this has been effective even in MMA against aware opponents. I'm going to demonstrate this slowly. Again, you're not just touching the leg. You're not using your toes. You're using the most solid part of your foot, and you're stepping into it. And look how easily I can transition back into a ready position. This can be done, boom, out of nowhere, even if your hands are down. But I've always believed if there's trouble coming, you need to have your hands up. You don't necessarily have to be in a posture of fighting, but you need your hands up, because it's a whole lot easier to go here to defend yourself than it is to try to defend yourself when your hands are down, because everything happens real fast in the real world. And even at here, you can keep people at bay, boom, while you stomp down on that knee, all in a moment's time. Now, Bob really don't have kneecaps, but you can still see what this is like. If someone's coming in too fast, boom, you can step right down on that knee, boom, sink your hips right into it, boom. Land with the solid part of your foot right above that kneecap. It will hyperextend the leg, oftentimes cause the person to lose their balance, enabling you to get back or even away, or seize the opportunity to do more damage, of course. The third kick I want to talk about is leg kicks. Now, I want to talk about this from what is most commonly seen in Muay Thai. Something I want to share with you about leg kicks, though, is that although these things are dangerous to your opponent, they're also very dangerous to you. And I believe anybody who's going to wield this type of kick needs to be doing shin conditioning. I think the best form of shin conditioning there is kicking a heavy bag. As you may already know, there's no limit to the type of shin conditioning that Muay Thai practitioners out here are doing. You got these guys kicking down banana trees, doing, stuff like rolling broomsticks up and down their shins. There's a lot of different extreme ways that you can condition your shin, but kicking a heavy bag on a regular basis will toughen up your shins. What causes Muay Thai to differ from other martial arts styles is where others will practice kicking with the foot, Muay Thai places emphasis on the shins, which I believe give you more power and cause greater damage. But you can also run the risk of getting your own leg broken, as we've seen in mixed martial arts, because if somebody knows how to block a leg kick or check a leg kick with their leg, it can cause collision and can cause breakage. We've seen it happen to a lot of MMA fighters. They go to kick the other fighter's leg and their shin snaps in half. This can happen, so you have to exercise this kick at your own risk. But I will say this, if somebody is not prepared or not used to taking these kind of kicks on their thigh or the side of their calf, it can be devastating, and you can end a fight sometimes with 1 to 3 of these kicks. Now, I'm obviously not going to be kicking this hard tree with my leg, but if I'm going to do a leg kick on somebody, I've got to be encroaching. This is all from a forward position, slightly angled, encroaching, and I'm not going to leave my standing foot here and just try to kick them. I want my standing foot to turn so that my body can turn with it. I lowered Bob down just so I can have a surface that is the level of like a thigh. And I want to show you how this kick chops in. Now, here's what it's not. It's not standing here, not turning your foot and just kicking it like that, or trying to kick it with your foot. It's not even turning this way and kicking it with your foot. This kick is all about the shin. Now, one thing I'm doing when I kick, because I'm not standing straight up, I'm getting down into it. Watch this fully executed. I want to talk about hand position with regards to these Muay Thai kicks, because with a lot of kicks, I do believe in keeping your hands up, like that front kick, or just different kinds of kicks, whether it's that stomp kick. But with these Muay Thai leg kicks, my hands tend to extend out this way. And I'll tell you why. To anticipate objections, most high-level Muay Thai practitioners would agree with me on this. Leg kicks are not thrown with the hands up. There is a motion with leg kicks that goes this way. Number one, the flow of your body. It helps with the flow of your body. Now, I've got some protection here. Now, in Muay Thai, they've got big gloves, so be cognizant of that. But this kick flows better when the hands come this way. Right hand here extends out with the leg, and the other hand is protecting. But you can rewind the video back and see how I use my hands during the leg kicks. The front kick, whether it's with your front leg or your dominant leg, the oblique or stomp kick, and the leg kicks, preferably Muay Thai leg kicks, are all very realistic, doable, powerful kicks in the street. Now, as you may already know, it's easy to kick bob, to kick the bag, to practice form when nobody's coming at you or when you're not faced with a live opponent. Nevertheless, you got to learn the technique first, and then you got to practice these things on moving targets, whether it's in sparring, light sparring, getting used to what it is to execute these things at the right time. Because as busy as the streets are, they still provide you windows of opportunity if you're trained and you know how to see them. The form and the technique comes before learning to flow in a real movement situation. Remember always though, with each kick comes a retraction. Don't leave your foot out there, it'll get caught. Learn to send these things powerfully, quickly, and then get your leg back. Get yourself back in a fighting position to do something else. Never count on one kick or one punch. Strike until you're safe. I hope you found these 3 kicks helpful. What are your favorite kicks, whether it's in the street or whether it's just to practice at home? What are your favorite types of kicks? I'd love to hear from you. Take care.